13 shops within about 1 mile radius of each other. It was absolutely insane to see. Um, and far enough from the naval base too. I was kind of, yeah, it was interesting. But there was out of the 13, there was only about two of the shops that actually stood out. And that being said, our talk last night was kind of talking about not last night, but last week was about the your online marketing. And Lauren really came up with some really amazing strategies that I hope some of you have implemented so far in the past week. Has anybody done any work on their online presence since our talk last week? Okay, Mickey, James, awesome. Joshua, kinda. New York, awesome. Cool. Um, well, great. That being said, it really got me thinking about, my stops in yesterday. After going into all these shops and just kind of getting a feel for it, talking to people, seeing who's busy, seeing who's not. I went back, took some notes, came back in, checked everybody's websites and their Google presence as well as the shops that I saw yesterday. Huge difference. The ones with the best messaging on websites, Google presence as well, were the shops that I saw the busiest yesterday and the ones that I wasn't hearing the complaints. So I challenged it, saw that it was true. Um, and that being said, it got me thinking about branding quite a bit because there was a significant difference in branding. Um, One shop there was actually a shop I went into yesterday. It was called 24-Hour Tattoo. Um, they've been open for 20 plus years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Something you may see in Vegas. I was kind of shocked to see here in San Diego. A quality of work. Um, I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Look at their website. Yeah, interesting, right? But there was really no brand, that was happening besides the fact that we're open.
Okay, okay, that's all it was.
Airline. Thank you. Okay. Branding was there was no brand, for a shop like this. The fact that they're 24-hour tattooing. You get anybody 3 in the morning, want to get a tattoo? There you go. Um, but the branded individuals I saw that really like their work speaks for itself. It showed the shops that were the busiest yesterday, their website presence, it shows their portfolios, it really showed. So it made me think, like, how should we be branding ourselves, in the tattoo, community? How do our clients see us? And I was thinking about some of the tattooers that are they have a really solid brand in tattooing. Like you almost know their work without knowing who it is. Like you can see that work and you're like, holy shit. Like, Jeff Gogway's work, Guy's work when you see it. You're like, is that a Guy piece? Is that a Gogway piece? Is that, you know, that's a crucial part of branding. And I know a lot of people are still kind of in this, grasping for straws and what they're known for. But, this is your brand. Are you setting yourself up right now for how your tattooing will be looked at in 10 years from now? Are you questioning yourself in like, what is my brand? What does it look like? So when it comes to doing your Google presence, your website presence, how does that look? So I kind of want to, if you guys are cool with it, I'd like to kind of go down maybe the rabbit hole of having more branding talk, help her out with our marketing aspects of Google and stuff like that as well. Um, I know, a few people in the room here right now and stuff like that. I can definitely describe their work. I could see it on the streets and I could almost tell you who it is, by seeing it. And I want us to come maybe, work on a little strategy here for helping us with our brand. If you guys are cool with that, is everybody cool with talking about branding today? Okay, rad. And if you're not, if you feel really solid with your brand, I know you probably know somebody in your area or in your shop that could probably use the help. So hopefully you get something from it so you can give it back to them. Um, So I was taking some notes this morning on this and branding. I'm currently going through, I wouldn't say a rebranding process with my supply company, but we are giving a facelift to our brand right now. I'm working with a marketing agent on kind of recreating our logo, recreating our brand in a way that kind of better serves where we're at right now and how we want to be perceived from our customers, in the next 5 years or 10 years, even further. So um, I started describing for my supply company, a list of words of how I want my identity, to look as well. So I wrote down if someone was to Google a word that would lead to me, what would that word be? It's kind of the first step to things. So if you want to take some notes here, but I would like everybody to describe your brand in one word. What is that word? Gabe said geek, tattooed it on his knuckles. So true, Gabe. Um, Bold. So it's definitely you, New York. Very bold.
Awesome.
They connect.
Connect. All right. Sovereignty.
Infrastructure.
Nice.
Infrastructure. Ooh. All right. Next step. Write down 10 to 20 words that describe the reputation you're looking for. Start showing your hands when you feel like you at least have 10 down.
I'm cheating though, because I've already done all these.
Sweet.
But I could list them off whenever you want.
Please, why don't you start? Yeah, do it, Gabe.
Okay, so we'll go backwards. Well, so okay, fuck it. This is what it was. Teamwork, respect, passion, honesty. Those are all right around the permission to play kind of non-negotiables. Aspirational is I have a couple in that group, which is quality again, because it's like I'm always striving for the quality, or in the shop we're always going for it, but also acknowledging that like there's always higher quality, right? So that's why it's aspirational. Philanthropy was something that was always very integral to whenever I was doing these exercises. Patience, and then the last three end up like the three core values that I still, those are the ones that I remember the most, which are evolution, enlightenment, evolution, and then endurance. And I guess just real quick to wrap it all up, the way that I would explain that, or the way my elevator pitch on that is, my core values are enlightenment, evolution, endurance. Enlightenment because I want to keep learning from as many different places as possible. Evolution because I want to change the way I do things and always try to be better. Sometimes it's worse, but always keep track. And then endurance is, and tattooing teaches us all these, but it really teaches us that it takes long periods of discomfort to get to the pretty thing. And obviously endurance is just, you can't do it without discomfort. So anyways, that's my
That's
exercise
great.
in a nutshell. Like I said, I cheated. I just pulled up my fucking document.
Cool. You've already done the work. Done it as
Can
well.
you rephrase the question again one more time?
Write 10 to 20 words that describe the reputation you're looking for with your clients. And James, I think you just won today. Disestablishmentarianism.
Wow.
Cool.
But I just wanted to say that Gabe really does have the best mission and value statement I've ever heard a brand in my life. It's the
Mhm.
most like it's the most like authentically genuine, like aspirational claim I've ever heard a business make in my life. And it's part of the reason why I love Gabe. It really is because it's like amazing.
You know,
It's amazing. I can't compete with it. It's like I want to just make it my own. I don't know.
it could be
Is that
your own.
okay? Can I just
Absolutely,
make
yeah,
it
man. No, no. I
like
mean,
take
that's the
it
whole
back to
point,
your
right? Like the point is that we all want to find, and we are falling into alignment with people with similar missions and values.
Yeah. It's
Right.
amazing.
If you
It's
have a shop that doesn't know what the fuck they're about, or an artist who does, there's a disconnect. If you have a shop that knows what they're about but doesn't communicate it to an artist, there's a disconnect. Most shops and artists don't. This is what the beauty of doing these things is. Next time you're applying for a job or you see a message from somebody who's hiring, you could almost gauge, wait, does this fall into alignment with my brand?
So yes, James, you can go ahead and take Gabe's. What Gabe said.
I'm just gonna copy pasta because like to be honest, because it predates AI. And that's why it's like better than any AI could write it. You know what I mean? Like you could ask the AI to write your mission and values all you want. It just like it's not gonna come up with that one.
Also, just to, it's also been tempered, right? When I was
Yeah.
going bankrupt and people were saying really gnarly things about me, and I'm like, what the fuck? After 15, 20 years in the tattoo world, I'm like, this is the way people are, or this is what's happening. Wait a minute. If my job is to help amplify tattooers in a positive manner, to leave a past, like, I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing, right? Like, so if I shed everything else and I just stay on that North Star there, and then again, that's why I'm still here, I suppose. But again, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but
That's
It's
why you
definitely
do it. Yeah. Because you don't know if it's good or bad or not. Because you don't know. And that's why it's great. So I don't know. Just that's to me, it does it I think it opened up my eyes a little bit, kind of hearing your, again, that a corporation could sort of like have that kind of well, okay. It's like corporate speak. So we see it a lot. Like I see it in banks and stuff like that. So again, it's sort of like there's a weirdness that it's like you can feel when it's not genuine, but and I don't know, maybe you're just that's just the right size. You know what I mean? It's just, you're just the right size of a business, as it were. You know what I mean? It's there's a personal touch that I guess enables that to work. So then that's what we do. We're tattoo artists, so it's a personal touch, personal connection with your client.
awesome. Nicole, you got compassionate, empowering, uplifting, kind, likable, honest, patient, relatable, loving, enlightened, genuine, authentic, warm, loving, and leadership. Awesome. All right, I want you to take these 10 to 20 words that you wrote, circle your top 6 on that list.
yeah. Well, while people are doing that, sometimes it's people are kind of will ask, where do we put all these things, or what do we do with them, right? And again, really, you end up when you end up with your brand and your core words, they almost go everywhere. And I've got a little mini magazine that I made for the tattoo shop forever ago, and I guess it's on this one. And we put our mission and values right in the right in the lists here. And so then people would take pictures of those mission and values of the words and then post them up on their fucking booths, right? So like years later, like for me, or on our handbooks, right? We would put it right in the very, the put it right there in the handbooks, so that this is what we're about. Sorry. Put them everywhere. But
Great.
I guess to James' point, you also have to live it. There's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, mission and values, blah blah.
This is what we're getting to here. So, has everybody circled their top 6 on the list there? Okay. Now I want you to combine these 6 words into 3 2-word brand phrases. So say you had focused and results, growth, empowerment, virtuous, whatever it may be on your list there. phrase them into two-word brand and phrases. So that would be like focused power, virtuous results, growth empowerment. I'm going to start combining those. Feel free to start sharing them in the chat too once you start coming up with some. Nice, Joshua. Sweet. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, Nicole, go ahead and I don't know where you left off here. You're going to circle your top 6 from your list, Nicole. And then you're going to use your your 6 words, and you're going to combine them into 2-word brand phrases.
I guess I haven't done this exercise like this though. This is cool.
All right, everybody done? New York, that's thoughtfully bold. Love it.
The only one I got though, I only got as far as one.
That's fun. That's fine. So I got one. That's great. Mitch, honest, creative, quality, empathy. I like that. Growth connections, powering authenticity, compassionate leadership. Oh, these are all great. Okay. Next step. I'm going to use the 3 2-word phrases to build out this sentence. As a tattooer, I want to be known for being, you're going to put in phrase 1, phrase 2, and phrase 3, so that I can deliver. And then I want you to make a unique solution to that. Let me repeat myself. As a tattooer, I want to be known for being. Put in your 3 phrases, comma, so that I can deliver, and then to describe your unique solution.
Describe the unique solution. Is that what you said?
Your unique solution. If anybody's ready, feel free to share in the chat. As a tattooer, I want to be known for being, put in your 3 phrases, so that I can deliver, which is your unique solution. Powerful, Nicole. Nicole wrote, as a tattooer, I want to be known for being a compassionate leader, empowering others through authenticity so that I can deliver inspiration to others into embracing their personal sovereignty to uplift humanity. Whew. Awesome. Joshua, as a tattooer, I want to be known for being authentic growth with passionate involvement with my clients in a loving environment so that I can deliver a safe, welcoming environment, celebrating the client and their why. It's powerful too, man. Awesome. The goal of this step is to really force you into getting into alignment between your identity, what you offer, and how your clients are perceiving you. Anybody else want to share? Give this another minute or so. James, as a tattooer, I want to be known for being professional, joyful, and consistent so that I can deliver my high quality custom tattoo product. Nice. Give me the thumbs up when everybody feels like they have it down, this step. Okay. I want you to visualize 30 years from now. There's a portrait of you with a plaque. What does the plaque say? Gave a shit. Rad human. Oh, awesome. What nice, Rufus. That's a lot of long, strange trip has been. Gee. There you are bringing joy. into it. I like it, James. Very nice. So the idea of this is for you to understand your long-term identity. You know, there's an emotional tone behind your brand. What is that going to be? Looks like Rufus is only going to be tattooing deadheads here in the next 20 years. Just kidding, Rufus. Okay. In tattooing, answer this, fill in the blanks here. I want to be known for being blank, so I can deliver blank. New York said, as a tattooer, I want to be known for being thoughtfully bold so I can deliver an impactful, exclusive experience and raise the bar for what a respectful and caring tattoo experience can be. Knowing you in New York, you are living this 100%. So the goal with this is to find out if you're trying to reach everyone or if you're trying to solve specific problems within tattooing. Unlocking your niche. James, in tattooing, I want to be known for being professional, joyful, and consistent so that I can deliver an ethical example for my comrades.
James,
Nicely
I used to describe you as steadfast.
done.
One thing I feel, I've always felt that you're very steadfast. Actually, it started with, I called you a faithful steed, but then I kind of walked it back, I think, steadfast. It sounds better.
I think both offer interesting opportunities. Thank you, Lauren. That's very generous of you.
Am I hearing a future shop name for James?
Faithful Steed Company.
I like Faithful Steed. You could probably do a little Faithful Steed dance to that one too. Faithful Steed, I love it. So hopefully at this point, you're starting to kind of understand your niche position. This is supposed to really give you some brand clarity. This is something that should be evolving and not something you're going to land on completely by the end of this hour, but hopefully this helps.
Definitely liking this exercise and planning on bringing this up at one of my shop meetings. Try to do this with the whole group.
Sweet. All right. So now on the questions of more of self-discovery right now. What's a compliment you hear with your tattooing that you hear over and over again from your clients? Another question. What type of clients energize you? What kind of clients drain you? I just have a few more questions here. Ooh, Nicole. So beautiful. So beautiful. Safety experience they had while they were in the chair with me. Joshua, awesome. All right. Next questions are about how you are different than your competitors in your area. What makes your approach to tattooing different from someone doing similar work?
What was that one again?
What makes your approach in tattooing different from someone that's doing similar work? Nicole, my energy, intentionality, spiritual influence. Definitely. Joshua, celebrating the client. They're the ones paying the bills. Everyone that comes into our spot gets the red carpet treatment. Awesome. Out of all the shops I went into yesterday, only about a third of them gave me the red carpet treatment. So glad to hear that.
Yeah, I don't do it so much anymore just because of the location I'm in, and I don't have as many, coffee shops and places, but I'll have their favorite coffee waiting for them, their favorite drink, whatever. And I sit with them for probably 30, 40 minutes before the tattoo, just making sure everything's to their liking and explaining that you can't fit 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag politely, you know. And then all aftercares and things like that are also on the house. We don't try to upcharge or anything like that. So, and I try to check in with clients about every 6 to 9 months, nothing tattoo related. Like might ask about the new puppy or the new job or whatever. That'll usually spark the, hey, I've been meaning to come see you again.
Awesome. Yeah, way to go, man. Cool. So that kind of leads me to my next question. What do your clients say about you when you're not around?
Is this just
Well,
what we hope they say about us when we're not around? What we think they're saying?
Oh, just what you think. You can put hope though. You can future cast this thing. What do you hope they're gonna say about you when you're not around? Giving a shit. Yeah, definitely. Nicole is the best. Never felt so comfortable with a tattoo artist before. She makes me feel really good about myself. Fuck yeah, Nicole. Oh, that's wonderful. Should get those testimonials on your site. Hmm. Oh, I have them. Nice. Nice. Nice, Nicole. I hope you guys got some good insight so far with some of these questions. Understand that your brand exists, whether you create it or not. The goal of this exercise is for you to be creating it. You don't want to just land on it for others to see. It's something that I was seeing yesterday. I was seeing a lot of non-branded artists. And so I had to come back, look at their websites, and understand what their brand is. Now, I have my perception of their brand. A lot of these shops, if other customers are feeling the way I was feeling and seeing what I was seeing, it's no wonder they weren't busy. This is why I want you to take control of it. Your brand is important. Your image that you deliver to the public is important. They should be able to come back and know what your brand is and tell you exactly what it is someday. So take the time and work on it. Take these questions and go with it. Maybe in a month from now, you answer these questions again. See how relevant they are, or if anything's evolved. Just take the mystery out of it. Take the mystery out of what people see. And this will really help your brand. This also takes the ego out of it too. We think that we see a certain thing, but our message isn't clear. And so people are just left to fill in the blanks. Your brand isn't putting a shop name like 24-Hour Tattoo on the front of your building. It's not a brand. Oh, maybe it is in its own way. But when you're doing all this to really seal the deal with this, all these questions should lead up to something that a logo is created out of. So that would be my last question. What does that logo look like? What represents your beliefs behind the questions I asked? If you already have a logo, great. It's probably already very clear. If you don't, maybe it's time to start drawing one. How many people in the room have a logo right now? Everybody does. Even if you're an independent contractor right now, it's good to have something. when I was creating Coalition Tattoo Supply, I landed on a shield with a torch in front of it. There was a lot of obstacles that I had to go through to start my company. My shield was just protection. It was part of me getting through the fight that I was going through at the time. It helped me protect myself so I can keep going forward. And to light the way, I used my torch. And it's going to stay that way. It still helps me light the way. So my logo, the back's what my brand is. Kind of curious about everybody else's logo right now. How does that feel in answering these questions right now? Does it feel relevant to how you answer these questions? Or do you feel you need to change it a little bit?
I don't want to switch mine up a little bit.
Okay. Sounds like some people got some homework.
think my whole brand was made by people who stabbed me in the back. So like it was great for fucking 15 years ago. And every time the only thing is it still looks pretty relatively pro, I suppose, even though it might be a little dated, but I know that every time they see it out there, they get, anyways, I need to change it up so bad. It's so difficult.
I was going to say something too before you got too far into the logo thing, because I've looked at thousands of websites of artists. And so like when you're going to look at and analyze your online presence, say, hey, does this answer this question? Does this fall in line with these 6 words? Because like, and not even that, like Josh and I kind of touched on this with you, Josh, like the other day, but like understanding sentiment and telling the internet / all of potential clients who you are, and does your phrasing, your words, your messaging all align with that? So if when I've been looking at artist websites, they might just have like a few pictures, but they don't really deliver like an understanding of the sentiment of who they are. So those things, like also when you're looking at your pages and stuff like that, like I know Nicole's done a lot with like adding her Instagram feed and stuff like that, like more words about who she is, and if she does the content on her site kind of just magnify those elements that we wrote down. But yeah, I really have almost never see it. I think Nicole's one of the few. So also as you're kind of thinking of all that, think about just relaying that information and that sentiment in the way that you do have your online stuff.
That's great, Lauren. Thank you. James, you have your hands up.
Thank you. I really appreciate this conversation today. And one thing that I wanted to just briefly mention, was just to throw this out there, is there's an idea around brand archetypes. So, you know, I'm not into Carl Jung philosophy, but I think there's a lot of maybe cultural resonance with some of these ideas. So as I sort of engaged in this, I was thinking about like my brand is tattooing wisdom. And so I'm thinking about like I want to like be evocative of the sage archetype, these sorts of things. But your brand you may want to be evocative of strength, like Coalition, or you might want to be evocative of luxury, like I don't know, Tiffany's or Cartier or whatever, you know, and so on and so forth. You know, you could be like super fun, you know what I mean? Or you could be super casual or whatever. So a lot of these ideas I think they're easy for us to grasp as far as like, because they're visual, because they relate to specific visual conventions that, you know, you could engage with. And again, I think going through these exercises to actually distill what it is that you are about could be helpful, because you may actually sort of just, again, like to Derek always says that you got to write it down, right? If you just sort of go along thinking, oh, I'm this, but you don't like work through the logic even just a little bit, you might really miss something that might be helpful, I suppose. So that was just the one thing I was thinking about while we were talking about it, is like, you know, I don't know. It's maddening. How do you define yourself creatively in a field of creatives? And So my logo is like a sigil. I'm not, it's slightly tongue in cheek, but I am kind of serious. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to bring up that thought about this. Brand archetypes are, typical example that, sort of helps you um to tap into like what it is, what's the vibe? Like what's your vibe? Again, there's a you might find continuity with other brands, colors, other things. Like people have done lots of work. Our audience is conditioned in different ways, and they may want to be spoken to in this way.
Mhm. That's awesome. Thanks, James. That going forward, I know, some of you definitely were able to do this exercise today. Others, were on the road or have other things going on right now. So Gabe is releasing these recordings
I have
out.
them. I have 10 minutes left. I'm just gonna blast everybody and give everybody access.
That's
I'm
great.
uploading number 19 as we speak.
So, take the time this evening or at some point this week to be able to go back over these and, really, really think about this because, your branding matters. It's not just about a logo, you know, it's about your values. It's about how you're perceived in the world. And it really can help define, the niche that you're after. Going for the long game and stuff like that too is, you know, it's going to help you here. So please, yeah, take the time and, do this exercise and do it again. I'm actually going through that right now. So I'm really enjoying this process. See how things have changed in the last 10 years. So, anybody else have any maybe things they want to add to this exercise?
I do.
Lauren,
I was gonna say, like, on your website, could you, if you got a client who never heard about you ever before, do you think how close to those words, if you asked a client those questions, if they just saw your site or like your online presence, how close to those words that you wrote down would a client be with what you say without you being like, I am this, I am that? How close does all of your stuff as a whole come to painting the picture that you want them, and kind of analyze it like that? Like, could your clients say that, hey, she's ethical or connected or whatever based on the way that I have my branding as a whole set up, presence set up?
So Lauren, just real quick, you're having the same problem that I used to have whenever you don't talk into the mic, your volume fluctuates just a little.
Damn.
No, it's awesome. This is all real good. Like, I could say too, the brand starting from the spirit of the shop or of the entity of the artists, and again, having and it's all works together, like having the consistent colors, fonts, brand visually, but then again, but stemming from the top as Derek already kind of talked about and guided. Then with the imagery and it being the same, the message, the 4 words at the bottom or the 2 words at the bottom that are in alignment and consistent over time. We had it so people would walk around and you could see our posters from across the street, right? But the logo was always in the right spot. The colors were the right spot. People would talk about us seeing the brand without actually seeing what the fuck the poster was, right? Or they could see a compass out as a sticker compass. We do a lot of branding we got to the point where we could do a lot of branding. We just put out the compasses or compass t-shirts and, with the right colors and consistency, then, yeah, it's great. It works. It's and then again, you use it for your mailing list, so when your newsletters have the same, feel and, yeah, it's great. And kind of to your point, Eric, it's crazy how many people just don't pay attention. Yeah. Although, like, real quick, I remember about 15 years ago, Derb was running around with a camera and he pointed in my face in Detroit, asking for like a little clip, and when I saw like 3 or 4 months later the video, I was full on hairy beard, full on hair. I was like a wild person from the woods. I was scared to death of the camera, and I looked like I was a fucking wild maniac from the woods, scared to death of the camera. And I thought, and that's when I realized, like, oh shit, if I don't actually get myself under control, like, all of a sudden you're on camera looking like a fucking maniac. So, and everyone here is already light years above where I was there. But main point is, if you don't pay attention to it or take control of it than someone else, can. And or it's
They-
just discombobulated. It doesn't make as much sense.
I branded a whole bunch of shops in San Diego last night that are not branded. You know, don't
Right.
let me brand your shop. You brand it for me. I want to see. So, love to talk more about this. I know, Mickey, you mentioned in this chat here, you're doing the thing on the side with this exact topic. Yeah, I'd love to take this further. I'm definitely, there's more evolution of this as well. Gabe kind of touched base on it. Color, the colors of your brand and stuff like that matter. So we can kind of go into more conversations, in future talks about this. We only have a few more minutes here. Mickey, is there anything else you want to add to this that may help give us some insight?
The earlier you can get it done, the better.
Yeah.
You want to get it done, and you want to allow that to inform everything else that you're doing, especially if you're doing the Tattoo Now software or anything like that. The sooner you can get all that stuff nailed down, and then that way, you have something you can copy and paste and reuse and check against your work. The better it's all going to go, and the more consistent all of your messaging will be.
That's a great point. It's actually less work to have a brand standard. And like sometimes it was crazy to me, like, because a designer would come in and then they change the font and they change the color and they move the logo around and they turn it inverted. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? All I wanted you to do was change out the shit. Like, we have a brand standard.
And yes, having that written down so that you can pass it off to other people, especially, is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. And at your point, I wasn't clear. I mean, I tried to be. Maybe sometimes it was on them, but for the most part, yeah, I didn't give them like clear instructions.
I would also say that in the tattoo industry at large, we get away with fucking murder when it comes to logo design. A lot of those are, posters or window dressings or cool images and not necessarily great brands. And I mean, kind of the way to think about it is that subconsciously you want to do the same thing that we do to cattle. You want to leave an imprint on the viewer's mind so that they know when they see a shape or a series of colors or whatever you use, your logo, however it is, that it starts to leave a mark on them. And if it's too busy and too crazy and it's got too much shit thrown into too small of a spot, it's not going to leave an imprint like that. So just FYI, because I've made a bunch of shitty logos.
Yeah, Scale Rocket doesn't work well with your logo either.
You know who's
So-
Rufus's logo is awesome. It's just a raven,
Raven, yeah,
It looks
Perfect.
really good, small. Looks really good, big.
yeah.
Just black and white, real simple.
All right. Well, I appreciate all of you guys being a part of this exercise, and that was fun for me too. So
And you all do officially have the emails, so you could go and enjoy the previous 19 episodes. And yeah, if you have any issues, just hit me back.
Awesome. Thank you.
all right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see each other next Tuesday.